Namaste. Welcome to the first episode of the Wow series. Wow means words of wisdom. I am Manisha, and in conversation with me today is Mrs. B.K. Bali. Mrs. B.K. Bali is an educationist and was a principal of Guru Harkrishan Public School. In a career that spans 4 decades, she was conferred the Bal Sahyog Award in 1989 by the President of India, Shri K.R. Narayan, for a meritorious service towards the student community. She has a master's in English literature and bachelor's degree in education. She also studied at Uppsala University and has visited educational institutions and lectured in Germany, UK, Sweden, Denmark, France, Canada, and USA. Mrs. Bali has contributed several articles in newspaper and magazines, for example, Exploring the Child in the Times of India. She has instrumented development of new ideas on personality development remedial teaching in order to promote the self-concept of average intelligence student. She has also taken up literacy projects under UNESCO and has organized and promoted lectures and understanding of diseases such as AIDS under NCRT. Welcome to the show, Mrs. Bali, and it's a pleasure having you here. I would like to start by asking you that did you take up teaching as a profession by choice, or was it by chance that you took up this profession?
Thank you, Manisha. Truly speaking, I took teaching only by a chance. You see, I was not really interested. Since my father was in education, he said, "You try. I'm sure you will like it. And if you don't like, you can leave. It's your choice. But once you must try." I said, okay. I have one condition, that if I have to go for teachers training, I'll go to Simla only. I thought I'll have fun. I'll do some activities. So he said, okay. And believe me, getting admission in Simla was very, very difficult. Right this morning, the interviews started and my turn came at 8 p.m. In any case, I was tired of waiting, but I went in. I thought, oh, now that I have come, I have to face the interview. So I went inside. They asked me various questions on literature. They asked various questions on activities, on educational projects, and so on. So I kept on answering, and we had a very cordial sort of interview and very cordial, very pleasant, discussions. And it took me long time. About half an hour I was there inside. Well, I came back after half an hour. Everybody said, "Oh, you took so much time. I don't think they're going to select." In any case, they asked me to wait. And after half an hour, they called me back and said, "You are selected, and you come for training."
Oh,
so that's how I got selected. And after selection, well, when I joined, it was really interesting. I was a head girl there. I was a president of some Sunshine Society there, dramatic club, and we had a real cushy time over there. So really started enjoying.
Okay. And you started teaching in which school? I mean, from which school did you start your teaching career?
Initially, I started teaching in the Air Force School. And shortly after that, there was advertisement that a new school is coming up, and a good chain of schools is going to be a chain of schools, Guru Harkrishan Public School. So everyone suggested, why don't you try your luck there? So I tried and I got selected. And then I joined that school. And most of the time of my teaching career, I was in various branches of GHPS.
And at the same school, you went on to become the principal also later.
Yes. By turn, you see, we were transferred also as and when there was a requirement. So initially, I was given, wardenship and other activities I was conducting. So I was made in charge, SUPW, and other various cultural activities, and then I became supervisor. But since I was very young, I was a little scared of going to senior classes. But once I went, I was so friendly with the students that they really started enjoying. So I also enjoyed teaching. That's how I started.
Okay. Okay. So most of your teaching career, you were teaching the senior grades, 11th and 12th?
No, I started middle segment. I was made supervisor. I was in charge of the whole middle segment, and thereafter I got
Okay.
senior classes also, and I was teaching senior classes, of course, and in senior
Okay.
classes, English literature as well as Indian culture and civilization.
Oh, okay. So any anecdote from your teaching years which you would like to share with us?
Uh, yes, as I said that we started on a friendly note. So
Mhm.
once immediately after the break, I had a class with students, and they knew that I'm very punctual, and I expected that they should be disciplined really. So one
Mhm.
of the students came late. May I come in, ma'am? I said, why are you late?
Mhm.
My shoe was biting. I said, oh, I didn't know your has teeth also. So the whole class had a good laugh. I said, okay, get in, but don't you try this trick again. So
Okay.
that's how we felt that yes, he has been caught. But then now that I was mild and excused him, it was on good note.
Yeah, I'm sure you must have been a favorite of the senior grades because they love teachers who, are able to enjoy their little these mischief that they do.
Yeah,
Every time it is not to scold them.
that's right.
Uh, so, when you became the principal of Guru Harkrishan Public School, what are the some innovative measures that you took?
Uh, See, that was a time when some parents were really, uh, they had all the grouse that you see. The bags are very heavy with the children. How will they carry? And then they would either send a servant with the child to carry the bag, or they would themselves accompany the child carrying the child's bag. It was very ridiculous. The child
Right.
is coming to school and another person is carrying the bag, and then children also were really, upset over this. So were the parents. So it was a big concern that the children have very heavy bags. So first of all, we
Right.
started with no bag policy. We started
Oh,
policy. Yes, we thought that in primary segment, especially junior and sub junior segments, no bag, no bag policy. It was that we would give them the set of books and notebooks, and keep them in the school only in the lockers. Only once a
okay.
week, you see, turn wise, we would send whatever the work the child has done, whatever he has achieved, or wherever he needed some help or some remarks were given by the teacher. We wanted that parents should see that they should be aware of what the child is doing. So then they would carry that notebook, get parent signature, bring it back at weekend, and then that was kept in the locker again. Further in senior segment, you see, that boring teaching all the time, you see, due to stuck to the books, nobody's interested. Children are not interested in that. So instead of that, we connected all that the teaching with the projects. We would give them
Oh,
projects, and project based teaching we had introduced and started there. So
okay.
see, with this, you said children would take more interest in collecting their articles, collecting their material, and they would bring that to the teacher. Teacher would again give. Then the teachers were giving them incentive also to encourage them. We would sometimes give them some award, some sort of award
Okay.
also. So like this, you see, the teaching became automatically learning. It was a practical learning.
So, as I understand that you started with project-based learning for the senior grades, and you started with a no-back policy for the sub-juniors and juniors.
That's right.
Um, That's really, really, forward thinking. And one thing that I would like to ask you is that I read somewhere that you also started a homework period for the sub juniors. Can you tell me more about this homework period that you introduced in your school?
Yes. You see, what happened that sometimes when teacher would give homework to the child, some of the parents were working parents. Child would not do the work himself. Either the elder brother sister would finish it, or some tutor was there who would do the work. The child wouldn't grasp the subject. So
Mhm.
we assess that child, it is not child's effort. And how do we involve the child? So what we did was we introduced another, we had 8 period school. We made it into 9 period school. We clipped 4 to 5 minutes from each period, and we introduced another period, added another period to school. That last period was meant for doing the homework. The teacher would supervise, child would do the homework himself or herself. So that way we get to know the child's caliber. That means the child was making effort himself. So this was much appreciated by the parent
Himself.
community. They were very happy. One, they were very relieved. Secondly, the elder, you see, they didn't have to, you see, when they come back from their job or work, they didn't have to struggle with the child. The child also is tired by then. So they really welcomed this idea. So homework period was introduced in the school then.
That was really an amazing idea. And what I feel is that when the child goes back home, he has got all the time to pursue his hobby. Like if he wants to learn music or wants to learn dance or pursue any sport, then going back, then the child doesn't have to really sit down with the homework and can go for these classes. So that was an amazing idea. You also went to various European countries to give lectures. So, any incident, any experience that you can share with us from there?
Yeah, it was interesting because in India we have large number of students in classes, 4,000 students,
Hmm.
and a large number of teachers also, obviously. But their schools were smaller, and you see, they had the smaller number of students. And in class also, the students were in lesser number. So they could manage them well,
Okay.
and they could not imagine such a large number in classes. Here also, we tried to reduce the number of students in classes. Like 40s and 45 is a large number. Teacher cannot attend to such a large number of students.
Okay. And you went to Germany to address the students. And when you went to Germany, you addressed a class of students. What happened there? Can you share that interesting
Yeah.
anecdote with us?
Normally in Europe, I have visited a couple of schools, but I found that when I went to Germany to take up a group, to address a group of students, sitting and chatting and casual, when their teacher introduced, then the headmaster and then principal introduced that principal has come from India. She wants to address you. Okay, okay, okay. They were as if it's a fun class. Then
Mhm.
well, some having soft drinks, some having chit chat, some music. Uh, Not that kind of discipline in the class. So the first I said, do you want to ask any questions? What difference do you find between Indian and the German students? I said a lot of it. First of all, I'm shocked to see that everybody is so casual. You don't even notice that somebody from teaching community has come to your class. You have no,
Yes.
but our students are very respectful. They would stand at the first instance straight away. And as I uttered that word, they would stand and they'll be very disciplined. They all stood up, and, and the whole class
Okay.
and the teachers had a good laugh. So they never stand and they never bother. Teacher comes and goes, teaches. That's it.
Right.
But this change is it's a sudden change in their behavior. So see, we started with that note, and then they asked me a couple of interesting questions also. Said, we heard that India is a land of snake charmers. I said, who told you that? Oh, we have been hearing. I said, so we had a good laugh over it.
Mrs. Bali, you were awarded the Bal Sahyog Award by the President of India, Mr. K.R. Narayan.
Yes.
So, what was this about, and why? I mean, you were chosen for the award. So, for what work of yours were you chosen for this award?
I had, during my teaching career, I have attended many seminars and workshops, and a few were really important when see about the leadership, about the remedial classes, about involvement of students. So I thought that why not to involve the students in all the activities that we are doing. We gave more emphasis on the project work. We gave more emphasis on what they should do rather than teacher helping. Teacher would give them hint, and then they would come to the say class board and write down that, yeah, these are the points. I'm asking students, and they have wonderful ideas. So that's how we were attaching them with various projects. And you see, Bal Sahyog means that we get their cooperation. So their cooperation was that their full involvement in whatever we are doing, teaching and all. So these activities were honored, and some officials came, and they observed that this is something distinct that we are doing. So that's it. And
on a lighter note, I would like to ask you: were you a strict principal and teacher, or you were more accommodating?
Strict, yes, strictness is important, but just being strict doesn't work. If we are, see, the principal is strict, he won't know what are the teacher's problems. We get to know their problems only when we are more friendly or more concerned about what makes them, you see, disinterested in teaching, or what makes them see irregular in teaching, what makes them coming late to the classes. There must be some reason. Obviously there is some reason for everything. So at times give them a little liberty, at times just check up and have chat with the teacher, call the teacher, ask the reason, and definitely they have some reason or the other. And once you relax that, teacher feels so obliged that principal is very reasonable, and now it's my duty, I must do the work to the right extent.
So my last question to you: any message that you would like to give to principals and teachers of today?
Yes, I think, you see, we cannot carry on with the age-old traditions or age-old, you see, teaching methods. It is a digital world now. Students are progressing. World is going very fast. Students are very intelligent. They catch up fast, really. And teachers have to be, again, you see, they also should study more, and they should know more of a student's needs. And so should the principal, because we have to, every 5 years, I'm sure we should reorganize ourselves and prepare ourselves to be up to the mark for their latest teaching, latest trends in teaching, and how to captivate their interests. So that would help them.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much, Mrs. Bali. It was real fun listening to you, and so much to learn also. So the 2-3 things that came across very distinctly during our conversation with Mrs. Bali was, one, that students should own their learning. So teachers should go in for more project-based learning. The second thing is we are all wanting to find a solution to heavy bags that the children carry. And an easy answer to this is introducing a homework period where the child sits down in the school and does his homework and goes back home to enjoy and enjoy life, and also to learn hobbies, like pay more attention to his hobbies and interests. And the third thing that came across is that the teachers have to be, if students are smart, teachers have to be smarter. Only then there will be the right balance in the school.
That's right.
So on that note, I wish Mrs. Bali the best. And we will want to have more sessions with you, ma'am, so that we can, your pearls of wisdom, I'm sure, are going to help the teachers and the principal listening to this show. Also, I would like to say, if there is any educator, any teacher or principal that has made a difference to your life, and you want that person to be on our show, please contact us. Please send us the details and the name of the person, and we will make sure that we post them on our show. Thank you and have a good day.
Thank you.